What's up, everybody? This is David Street Self-Defense 101, your host, Bagua, aka the Shogun of Goju. Towards my left is my boy here, BT, but everybody know him as the Black Taoist. We here today to talk about how these Sifus promote these YouTube videos about how they can fight, but as soon as you see them come to the man-up, stand-up ring, or they come to any kind of full contact tournament, they tend to get their ass whooped. So basically, man, I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of people coming out of the blue saying, yeah, we got skills and they ain't got nothing, period. So Nova, what you think about that, man? I mean, what do you think about these wannabe Sifus and wannabe senseis perpetrating up in New York City, man, and everywhere else?
I'm just taking back, man, somebody must have really got on your nerves, man. I'm just taking back. But, I mean, in all seriousness, I think that it all depends on the individual. I think that a lot of these, certain individuals, I say that's supposed to be instructors that teach, they just don't have, they lack the experience, real-time experience in actual free fighting. Yeah. I think that, I mean, there was a time when, I got involved in, the Kung Fu. I always thought that if you learn the form, because that's what I seen, like, on Channel 5 used to show the Shaw Brother movies, driving movie, you see the master, teach a student a certain particular form of martial arts, and then they get proficient at that form, and then all of a sudden you don't really see too much sparring, but you see the techniques that the teacher is teaching or passing down to the student, and then next minute they beating everybody with this particular style that they train. I believe that what's lacking today, and the reason that you see these instructors that can't apply their skills is because they don't really work on the basics. You know what I mean?
And what is the basics? I mean, can you define what the basics
Well,
are?
it's like the fundamentals. When you're first introduced to a system, like in karate, they'll teach you your stance work. We call it the Mabu in karate, I believe the horse stance.
Horse stance, or Kibadachi stance.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. And you have certain particular basic training regimens that you got to go through. So you got the horse stance, you got the gumbo stance, which is basically the bow and arrow stance.
Or the front stance.
You got empty stance, cast stance, as you're familiar with. And then you got certain hand positions that you are taught. And then once you learn that, you learn how to attack. And that's one thing that I noticed that is lacking. And I'm speaking from a Kung Fu background. That's lacking in Kung Fu. They go right to the forms, but they don't really do too many drills. Like back in the days, you would learn certain particular drills of attack, offensive techniques, not just defensive. And what you see today is a lot of instructors in Kung Fu, they teach the defense techniques, how to stop, how to defend a punch. Okay, but it's not really done real time. Most times, even in karate, you can see like a lot of times the technique is held out there, or in Japanese jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, basically it's too much rehearsal, too much routine going on instead of teaching you to be more natural, more expressive, being able to adapt or apply when this thing is happening. Because from my experience as working in a bouncer, as in nightclubs and stuff, the settings I've been in, as soon as you get into a fight with someone, they ain't gonna let you get in your stance. You have to just adjust. And I feel that a lot of instructors are not teaching that. They'll teach you the routines, but they're not teaching you the more realistic way of how to apply it in the street. Like how you can take it from the classroom and take it in the street.
Well, that all comes down to adaptability. But all I did is just a different degree of reality, I should say. You have free sparring, like for instance, a lot of traditional martial arts will put down MMA. They say, oh, that's watered down.
Right.
That's not real martial arts because it doesn't have the spiritual aspect that comes along with traditional martial arts. And you got to think of the spiritual aspect is mostly related to an Asian martial arts culture. You know what I'm saying? So they have these altars, and then they bow down and pay respect to those that came before them, their ancestors, things of that nature. But you don't see it in mixed martial art because it's more of a modern sport fighting.
Yeah, it's more entertainment.
It could be entertainment, but it still requires skill. The reason it's entertainment because it's televised. I mean, it's nationally on national TV and whatnot, and there's sponsors and things of that nature behind it. But it doesn't take from what it really is, the quality of it, because you still have to train to get that entertainment. Because you can't just put poor fighters on TV, then you know people will start complaining and want their money back. So you have to have good quality fighters. So what they do in mixed martial arts, and like Muay Thai, full contact karate, they train the basics. And when I say full contact karate, it's mostly modern karate, basically, because they don't focus on the katas or like in Kung Fu, the routines, the forms. They focus a lot on basic techniques: throw a punch, throw a right hand, kicking, elbows, things that
some form of grappling.
Yeah, but gets to the point from point A to point B. So in Kung Fu, it's different. When you learn Kung Fu, you learn your stances, you learn your forms, and then they don't really participate in actual free fight. And only a few schools, and I mean few.
I know.
This is why you see so many video clips of particular Wing Chun. You see a lot of they do these the Chi style, and Tai Chi is basically with the Choi style, which is push hands, and which is a sensitivity exercise that's supposed to teach you how to develop your sensitivity when you touch with your opponent, so that you can read and borrow the energy and redirect it. But they don't really do it under pressure. See, it's a difference. So you're still doing a routine. It's still, but so you don't ever develop that mindset how to deal with pressure. You understand what I'm saying? When somebody's really giving you some type of resistance, it's like it's a level of the resistance, but it's not the same. So that's why I say it's different realities, man. So when you got MMA, when they start out, or boxing, they start out gradually, and then the intensity builds up. Where in Kung Fu, they start out stance work, forms, and prearranged techniques, and from there they stay there. It doesn't build up. You see these demonstrations by these masters that you was talking about previously in the video. Yeah. When you were saying about how they don't do this, don't that. Because they build up a level of confidence and security in what they already learned. But so they never went to the next. It's like the game of death, man. Right. Who's went for different levels.
Yeah, in the pagoda. Yeah.
Well, Kung Fu, these guys stay at one level. And why not? Once you get to the pre-arranged, I like to call it the pre-arranged zone. Once you get to the pre-arranged zone, they stay at that level. You know what I'm trying to tell you? They don't go further beyond that. So they don't evolve, man. They don't develop anything.
And my whole thing is why they don't evolve.
Because it's all about self-discovery. And when you have self-discovery, then you can have creativity. You feel what I'm trying to tell you? So this is why they don't evolve, because if you limit yourself, put yourself in a box, and you surround yourself with people that do the same thing that you do. And I used to be one of these individuals, because when you're in that realm of reality of dealing with certain people that are, I should say, branded in your category, you don't want to step out the box and look outside and see what's going on. You stay within inside your box. So this is why you see Wing Chun people, they do well against Wing Chun people. Bagua people, they do well against Bagua people. Karate people do well against karate people. Because why? They didn't step outside that box. They looked outside and see other things that's in their surroundings. They know about it, but the mind keeps closed. So they say, no, I'm going to stay in my box because my shit is the shit. You know what I mean? And it looks good because you're doing techniques on people that know what you know. You know what I'm saying? So now, how can you have change? You can't have change and no creativity from that. So what I'm saying now, but those that are not closed-minded say, you know something? I want to see how this technique works. How can I make this effective? How would this technique respond to someone doing a kick or something different out of what we do? So it's like you're a fish in a fishbowl, and there are many sharks in the ocean. You know what I'm saying? You're never going to know if you can survive against a shark unless you take a trip out in that ocean. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's
all about having exposure, having an experience.
Yeah, through trial and error, of course. It's experimentation. A lot of these dudes don't want to do experimentation because they got a certain rank now. And what you was talking about, these masters. So, so-called man, they never been touched. But a lot of times you see a lot of people train to touch but not be touched. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So,
and if you do touch them, they complain.
Well, that's because of their lack of experience. Because, you know, a lot of people, like I told you, it's in the prearranged. I mean, I've been there before, man. I used to teach that because I thought that was the proper way. And when I came out of my box, or I was just out of my fishbowl, I found different perspectives, different ideas, different school of thoughts. And then you learn differently, and then your character starts to change because now you start formulating your own ideas. You know what I'm saying? But if you just keep reading textbooks and Sifu says this, and Sifu said that,
and not coming up with your own conclusion, you'll never get your own form of knowledge.
Yeah, you won't evolve, dude. So
and this is why you created Man Up Stand Up, right? Because
Man Up Stand Up was basically based upon it. Because if you go to most commercial tournaments, karate and kung fu tournaments, that's basically what they do. It's like forms, applications, prearranged applications, of course, and then you have point fights. Just like in karate, they have point fighting, which I believe should be absolutely. You feel what I'm saying? Because really, no one does that today, but it's a money-making thing, my dude. It's for people that want to have a security blanket. No one stops a fight, you know what I mean?
My feeling towards point fighting is it should be for beginners. Like, just to get your feet wet for experience.
Point fighting would just teach you bad habits.
Well, that's true too. That's true.
And why not? Because in the fight, everything is continuous. And everything is not limited. You know what I'm saying? So if I go point, you stop your technique. Right. After a while, you know what I'm saying? We are creatures of human habit. You know what I'm saying? A human being is a creature of habit, I should say. So if you're constantly training your body, your subconscious, and you train it, and you're not really training to go through or hit through an object or penetrate, and you stop it and short. What you think you want to do when it happens into a real situation?
You're going to take that habit from the tournament into the street.
So it's train how you fight. So it's all about money, man. Today, martial arts is not about really discipline, man. It's about money, making that paper. So to answer your question, this is why a lot of these seafoods today, they don't fight. Because if you read in the old text, the old books, a lot of the masters from Kung Fu Karate used to touch hands with anybody, no matter the age, anything. It wasn't an ego thing. It was about exchanging skills with somebody and learning about your next man. Then they have tea or whatever, and sometimes they'll take that technique and they would exchange techniques. But today it's all about ego, and I'm better than you. And I even had some dudes, individuals say, "You must call me Grandmaster." Grandmaster. I mean, it's really like that, dude. And what's amusing and hilarious about this whole situation is that a lot of these individuals are not even Asian. You know what I'm saying? Don't even speak Japanese or Mandarin, but they want you to address them in these terms and whatnot. So it's kind of hilarious when you think about those type of techniques. You know what I'm saying? So you got to think about it from that point of view. You know what I mean? So that's the answer to your question on that. You know what I mean?
So at this point, don't every martial arts school, don't they need to upgrade their way of thinking, their way of how they want to express their art to their students?
Well, like I said, it's all about free expression. The whole goal of training martial arts, and this is just from my perspective, is about free expression, helping you on self-discovery of oneself and why not. So it's like if I teach you a form and why not, you're not going to do it like the way I taught it to you. Right. I teach it to the way you think and your body type. Just like in karate, you see, like a lot of people do the same kata the same way, the same technique the same way. You can't do it that way. Right. Now you're limiting that individual. Because that person may not be aggressive. He may be a passive type of individual. So you got to teach according to that person's mentality, his disposition. Feel what I'm saying? It's not the same. A lot of people don't teach like that anymore because it's all about the paper. Okay, you come in, I give you one rank. 2 months later, he's a yellow belt. Next month later, he's a green belt. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about.
And don't quit, and you don't care whether or not you know the information.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's kung fu or karate and whatnot, but you're supposed to be able to apply what you're being taught because that's the whole idea and the whole purpose. Not about just fighting, but it changes your character. Now, I used to be Bagua back in the days, or and I used to get into certain I say situations with certain individuals, but after you start training more and more, you start learning about yourself. Your character starts to change, and you discover that the things that your bad nature starts to have. It's like a rejuvenation process, I should say, of your way of thinking, your way of acting and relating to other individuals. It's just like with the incident with the brother, the recent last year when I had the incident with the Seafood Gus guy.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's the same thing. I shouldn't even put myself in that situation, but that's why we live life. We live and we learn.
Right.
So it was just something that I felt that was immature of me to even get caught up into, but it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about that.
I thought it was based on like a mutual exchange. Like,
well, it was a mutual exchange, but he just wasn't on my level. So, like I used to tell you, once you deal with certain people that ain't your level, you stop playing around, doing that. It's just it's like one of those fights that I don't even consider a fight. It's just like a situation which you regret. But you learn about it. But he taught me about myself. You know what I'm saying? So other people may see it from the outside in a different perspective, but I see it in a different perspective.
so when we spar, it's not about beating the person, it's about self-discovery. Being able to know who you are while you're in the midst of exchange.
It's about a learning experience.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter about who wins or loses.
Right.
You're going to learn regardless. If you win or if you lose, it's a learning experience about self and about your opponent. You know what I'm saying? When you walk away from that situation, you learn something from it, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what's lacking in martial arts today. A lot of people, like you said, it's the free fight. Like you say, these guys, they teach you this and teach you that because they never really discover themselves, man. Because if you're really real about yourself, then you're going to try to, how can I say, express your true self to the mass media.
You're going to be honest, basically.
Honesty is the best policy.
Yes, honest.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not about you trying to sugarcoat anything or play the politics. It's about you saying what's on your mind truthfully, but with respect and whatnot. And either if people agree or disagree, at least they can say, well, that brother, I may not like him, or some people say I like him, or whatever the case may be. They can always say that, well, that brother always speaks his mind honestly. You know what I'm saying?
And that's someone you can trust, basically.
Yeah, I rather deal with a person that tells me the truth than a person that tells me a lie.
That's right.
And whatnot. I mean, a lot of people take this being humble thing, they over-exaggerate it, man. There's a time to be quiet, you know what I'm saying?
And there's a time to speak your mind.
There you go. So that's basically the same thing with martial arts. It's like as far as the techniques, when we were talking about techniques, you gotta learn how to apply fully, man.
That reminds me, how would you apply push hands in an actual situation? I mean, if you don't mind demonstrating.
Well, push hands is easy, man. Push hands is like what you see with these guys do. If I'm standing here,
right,
and you pushing on, right, and you come in, so I'm in here, see, I'm inside here, so shit. Grab my shoulder.
No, that's good.
It's not like this. I'm gonna show you something. It's not like when this is just the basic level, dude. It's just like when you go here. Right. See, right now you resist me, right? If you resist, I'm just gonna move. It's not like when you see these do. They do this. They go here,
right,
and you push, and then it's back and forth, and these type of things. Right. It's not that. If you grab on me, I just relax. Go do what you want. See, because you gotta have a line. See, this move here, this push move. Like a lot of people do Tai Chi, and they think that's how it's applied. They say in Tai Chi, they say the form is the first thing you must learn. And why not? Once you do the movement, like this right here, that's what I'm telling. A lot of people you see they do it this way. If we ain't gonna touch it, do what you want to do. See, you push me, but that girl tell is this. See, it's not this. You see a lot of people do this in Tai Chi and say like, all you have to really do is drop the elbow. See, you can really do. See, and you can push me. See now, you see when you did that, I knew just move in here. Feel what I'm trying to say? So a lot of times when you ain't start close, when you do that move here, you stay close. Because you ain't supposed to be motherfucking side. I can't be from here, dude. And then conscious. So I gotta catch it elbow. I can't come up here. You're better do. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm coming this way, you grab me, whatever. See this move here, see? From this part, see? That move here is this. I just wanted to show you. I don't want you to, see the real. I don't want you to, I can't say, oh, very well, don't push low.
Yeah, like
this. No, it can't be like that. You just grab it.
Right.
Grab it. See this move here? It's from there. This here is here. So a lot of people think this move.
Now, how would that work with a sucker punch?
What you mean?
Like somebody just come up and go.
See? See? So you gotta think, in Tai Chi it's about awareness. So I may go like this, see? See that? I'm not gonna hurt you, I just want to show you. See that?
That's all right.
See, this simple glass barrel tail like this. I go here. These moves here, this is called ward off.
Right.
Roll back, press, but you asked about Tai Chi. So the Tai Chi would be, if you're in close, right? Like most times, you're in a situation like this.
Right.
In the project,
yeah,
you don't have time
right here.
I can't be like this. I ain't gonna have time to throw these kicks or nothing.
Right.
So if you, let me put this, I don't want to hurt you, man.
No,
but you see, if we in close, I keep my hands up. See, this hand is inside here. I'm not gonna play games with you, dude. I'm like this, see? Oh, here. See this hand, feel that power there? I go this way. This is called brush knee. So I'm gonna show you. I'm here. You got your guard up. See? Boom, like that. See? And when this hand, I'm smash this head right up on the cement. I'm gonna do it like that. I'm here. See? That's why right there. See?
Yeah, damn.
I'll show you. See, I can't show you no bullshit because if I show you bullshit, it ain't real. Well, I'm gonna go, okay, Dave. This is what you see on YouTube. Okay, Dave. Golden cock stands on one leg. The chi, I will send it up to the heavens. That's some bullshit, dude. Tai Chi. That's the first art I learned really from Sifu Rudy. Everybody know me from the Bagua, but if I'm gonna get see all three, you gotta learn. Singing, Bagua, Tai Chi. Tai Chi was the first shit I learned. Like that, see that? You feel that? I didn't even hit you that hard. See? Now you gotta know where to hit.
Remind me to get my gun when I get home.
You gotta know where to hit, Dave. Right. See, there's a difference. And I didn't hit you hard. Right. I just know where to hit you. See that? I just hit you that way. That much. It shakes the whole body up. Yeah. I know where to send the energy at. And why not? See what I'm saying? That's why you see in Tai Chi, the brush knee. This is the main attack in Tai Chi. Ward off. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people look at it and say, oh, it looks so soft. But see, I have to come in here. See, I come up in here, I get in. So if you get close to me, you grab it. When we grab, you don't worry about it. I'm not going to hurt you. See, I go over here. Ooh. See? You go this way. See this? This move right here. Just come on. You see this a lot. It's actually coming. This
I guess people saw the real Kung Fu. They see the realness.
See, Kung Fu is not just punching and kicks. You gotta understand something. Like I said, you asked about the push-ins, the choice styles. Right. It's about being this close. Dude, I gotta be this close. It's not you can't put boxing gloves when you see these Kung Fu or Tai Chi versus this style, that style. You don't wear boxing gloves, man. I can't wear that. So I gotta be close to you. So if I get close, if I'm here, then I gotta get here. See, I have to get close to you. You feel what I'm saying? If I come in here, see this hand is coming up. Boom, see this hand here? That's pulled right here, see? This move here, roll back. See, because if you're closing me here, I see this is roll back. See, roll back, you go this way. So if you grab me, I'm not gonna hurt you. Now see, there you go. No, see, you go there. See that? That's brush knee. See that? You alright? I ain't gonna be so mad at you. You alright? Alright, so I just want you to know. All these guys talking this nonsense about Kung Fu don't work. It works. It's just different hand formations and techniques that you have to understand when you're doing the routine. That's in any style, karate, Kung Fu, whatever. So a lot of times you see me, like on my YouTube channel, I be playing with tools. You know what I'm saying? I don't really be coming out because if you really, as you can see, if I really hit a motherfucker, pardon my English, it is going to be a total different ballgame. Right. You know what I'm saying? And then he has to be your mortal enemy. So sparring, in a way, is just playing around. It's just to help you with your movement.
So it's a play, but play serious.
Well, it's not even that serious. Because then, it ain't a big difference. You played with me before, and I never really showed you nothing really. You play spar with me, that's the difference in punching and kicking.
Right.
Then I'm just going like this. See that? I'm just going like that, right? Now see? I just said, boom, just that quick. That's how fast. Now I did that here. What if I do that to your windpipe?
I'll be dead.
Alright, man, that's what I'm trying to say. There's a big difference.
Well, there you go, guys. This is another exclusive from Bagua Buddha, aka Shogun Goju. As you can see, he done showed you some real shit right about now. Anybody who got questions about Kung Fu or any style, just hit me up. Peace.